No. The J6ers are people who are being politically persecuted. This is long. This is long after.
If you didn't smoke and you weren't so fucking
after.
fat, it would be easier to lift the goalpost and move them around.
This was
dude.
long.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another one. Today we are looking at an absolute masterclass in exposing bad faith actors. We've got Soy Pill and Vince Wilson completely dismantling Andrew Wilson and John Paul Leon over the conservative double standard on political violence and rhetoric. Andrew spends the first half of this debate trying to act like the ultimate stoic logic bro, pearl clutching over progressive bail funds, only for Soy and Vince to drop the Patriot legal fund right in his lap. Looking back at this exchange now, it is hilarious how the right still uses these exact same deflective tactics today whenever their own people get caught in 4K. They literally try to move the goalposts in real time the second their hypocrisy is called out. Do not click off early, because the final stretch of this debate features one of the most spectacular ego collapses I have ever seen on a panel. The way Andrew's entire tough guy persona just evaporates when he gets cornered is pure comedy. He gets so flustered, he actually starts screaming about hat. Also, before we get started, do me a favor and drop a comment down below letting me know what city or country you are tuning in from today. I always love seeing how global this community is getting. Alright, let's just jump straight into the chaos.
All right, so there's a link. The other point, other than probability, is the point
shut
about
up,
linkage.
Soy. Shut your fucking mouth, Soy.
We have given the condition that when you're talking about responsibility for political violence, there has to be a link between the act and the violence. We demonstrated a direct link between Kamala Harris posting bail fund and
Shut your
people,
fucking mouth,
rioters,
Soy.
committing acts of violence.
There's
There's not a case where as a result of the pardons that people have committed more political violence as a result of the pardons.
You
haven't made that case. So you have two issues. I mean, your only argument is about potentiality. Your only argument is about potentiality, that potentially in 4 years, if JD Vance or Donald Trump or whoever's running for president doesn't get elected, then probably there's a potential for people to form an insurrection and overthrow the government. Probably some people will commit violence because they're probably counting on the fact that in a number of years, there will be a president of their liking that gets elected again and pardons them. That's a completely outrageous point.
I love this shit, okay? I love rolling around in the mud and making this guy look stupid every fucking 5 seconds. I love that shit. Don't get mad at me. I fucking love that shit. Okay, I do.
Doing more political violence because you haven't done it
yet.
Yeah,
rioters.
You can't just say rioters. You have to show that her bail fund encouraged rioters to go out and do more political violence.
You
gotta
did.
show me that.
You did.
No, you didn't.
You made the concession. You made the concession. No, you made the concession.
Oh, okay. So when I grant you the modicum,
you didn't grant shit. It was a concession.
Oh, it's not a grant.
No, it was a concession. Yes. You're conceding the point because it's true.
Yeah. Okay. Wait.
Okay,
If it's true,
let everyone let Vince come in now.
Yeah. If it's true, right? There's a difference between it's likely versus it did. If it did, then there should be something that you guys can point to.
Actually, this is actually a good point. So you're right. We're talking about likelihoods. And so when I asked Soy, do you think that the likelihood drastically increases when you have a bail fund? He says, yeah, it does. Of course, it makes sense. Hang on, it makes sense.
Wait,
hang on, calm down.
I got 2 words out, by the way, before you.
Well, I thought. You just
okay,
asked me a question. Like, why do you guys ask me questions and then when I start answering them, you get upset?
I didn't ask you a statement. I said.
Okay, go ahead.
I said that there is a difference between likelihood and that something did happen, and that if you guys say that something did happen, in fact, that you guys should be able to provide something to back up that claim. And that is something that I feel like you guys have not done. And again, reiterating my opening statement that you guys have fully proven is that anytime we bring this up, you guys deflect. You'll say that it's some other kind of issue. You will not take responsibility for the fact of what you guys do. But when it's the left, you guarantee it wouldn't take any modicum of evidence. You could just see that like you said before already, by the way, you could see a word on a bullet case and automatically go, yep, that's the case. But I guarantee you, somebody on the right, you guys would not sit there and you guys would have all sorts of just like, well, wait a minute, guys. Hey, he might have PTSD. Oh, he might have had trouble with his marriage. But you guys would never, ever grant that amount of courtesy to anybody on the left.
Well, here's the thing. It's really funny, right? It's like, I don't know why you think it is that our faculties go out the window. when it comes to this stuff. Like, I think a tranny fucker who fucking puts out, oh, hey, fascist catch. I think we can put 2 and 2 together there, right? I think we can put it together. I know it really jumped in. Shut up. It's my and Vince's exchange. I know, Vince, that upsets you that we were able to call that correctly because it was very simple to do based on the circumstances of what was going on with that particular case. But the funny part here is, like, I don't even
when I mentioned
I actually don't even understand the ultimate criticism.
This right here is where the entire conservative framework starts fracturing in real time. Notice how they demand an absolute, flawless chain of evidence when someone on their side commits an act of political violence. But the second they want to blame the left, all that strict standard goes completely out the window. John Paul Leon said this: "Your only argument is about potentiality," but that completely ignores the massive double standard playing out right in front of our eyes. Vince Wilson nails them to the wall on this exact hypocrisy. Vince Wilson said this: "You could see a word on a bullet casing and automatically go, yep, that's the case. But I guarantee somebody on the right, you guys would not sit there and you guys would have all sorts of just like, well, wait a minute, guys. Hey, he might have PTSD. That is the most accurate breakdown of modern right-wing debate tactics I have ever heard. They will weaponize a single rumor or a blurry photo to smear an entire progressive movement. Yet, when someone carrying their own flags acts out, suddenly they turn into defense attorneys pleading for mental health considerations and deep investigations into the person's marriage. It is a completely rigged game." This actually reminds me of how McCarthyism operated back in the 1950s. Joseph McCarthy would stand in front of cameras waving a blank piece of paper, claiming he had a massive list of secret communists, ruining innocent lives with zero proof. The conservative establishment loved it because it hurt their political enemy. But the moment the script flipped, they suddenly cared deeply about due process. We are seeing that exact same psychological trick today. They want to operate purely on assumptions when attacking liberals, but demand a court of law when defending themselves. And Vince Wilson just called it out perfectly.
If we're talking about likelihoods, then all we're doing is making the same comparison that you're trying to. We're saying that the likelihood here, if it's the case that you have bail funds, you make the concession, of course, that the bail funds are there, that is going to increase the amount of people on the ground, thus increasing political violence, versus, do you think that it's likely that people who spent years in prison after a pardon they didn't even know that they were going to get is going to somehow increase the likelihood that there's going to be another example of J6? You also say that we're running away from responsibility or somehow deflecting, and yet, when asked directly, do we condemn any violence which happened on J6, we both said yes, and so did Trump. Not only are we not deflecting, we're taking mine and Vince's exchange. Calm down, Soy. The thing is like, how many concessions can we possibly make in good faith and demonstrate this for you? And by the way, let's just assume for a second we never did. We never, ever took responsibility for anything. What the fuck does any of that have to do with whether or not the left commits more violence or not? What? Even if I deflected from everything and doubled down and said Trump's the man, he should have overthrown the fucking government. Even if I said that shit, Vince, what the fuck does that have to do with whether or not the left commits more violence or not?
We moved on from that, Andrew, because you were unable to accept the data and didn't have data of your own that countered ours, so...
Yeah, very scientific, Soy.
Okay, here's a more one-to-one example that you guys will.
Can you let Vince fucking answer? Can you let Vince answer? Ever?
I highly doubt it, but I do want to ask you that real quick.
No, Daddy Soy has to come into bailouts to bail out Vince.
I think we should find the guy who roughed up that protester in my.
Soy, seriously.
Yeah, let Vince fucking have his exchange. You calm down. Twirl your fucking propeller or something for a second.
Okay, I got a stim.
What did you want to say to Andrew?
Yeah, I think
I think it has a lot to do with it. Again, if the right refuses, and again, going back to my opening statement, because I love to reference that, is that again, in the absence of condemnation from the right, and you guys may condemn it, that's fine. But the vast majority of people that I have engaged with and that I have seen online don't necessarily condemn it outright, and the most that I have seen have done otherwise.
Ooh.
And so in the absence of
That's exactly the look I was expecting.
I can go look. I'm sorry, dude. My internet sucks.
Yeah.
You can look at the left. When you look at the left, or the right,
who on the right didn't condemn violence? They all condemn violence, as far as I saw.
Okay,
so let me ask you something. Let me ask you. Since you talked about dog whistles, if Gavin Newsom said, "I condemn this rhetoric," and then goes in and then pardons or bails out, because you guys have already said this implicitly with Kamala Harris, then bails out all of those people that protested, would you still say that Gavin Newsom condemned and that He did. He condemned the rhetoric. Would you say that same thing? Because you seem to not be doing that with Kamala Harris. In fact, you were saying
I
quite the
understand what
opposite
you're
with
saying.
Kamala Harris.
You're saying so like if this something equivalent of J6 happened in California, and then Gavin Newsom decided that he would go ahead and pardon all these people after they did 4 years in fucking prison, would you agree that he condemned the violence the day after? Yeah, probably.
I don't believe it. But
Oh, well, that's nice.
nonetheless.
An argument from incredulity. Andrew, I don't believe you. That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't
my
believe
question
that
is,
you
if
don't
guys-
believe
if
me.
Donald Trump were to say, "Hey, I will pay the bail funds for people who assault protesters at my things," and that's in the middle of protesters doing things in his rallies, would you say that might?
You
be
mean that
encouraging
gotcha where
violence
he
in
was
some
being
ways?
tongue in cheek? It was very cleverly done there, Soy.
Okay, so even in the most one-to-one example, it was a
Show
joke.
me
You
the
know
bail
what?
fund. Show me
Kamala Harris,
the bail
like,
fund.
LOL
Fuck.
bail
Show me the bail fund.
LOL bail funds. I think bail funds. Are pretty
LOL
funny.
bail funds.
Bail funds are funny, dude. I
Yeah.
think they're hilarious.
So
I'm gonna go
show
retweet
me.
a bail
Can
fund
you
now.
show me
It's
the
a good
actual
meme.
bail fund? It was a clever gotcha, but it didn't work. Show me
No,
the bail
pretty fun
fund.
meme.
Show
So
me the bail
re-
fund.
Oh man. The moment Vince Wilson lays down this hypothetical trap, you can literally feel the panic radiating from the conservative side, because that tells you everything about their lack of principles. Vince Wilson asked this: if Gavin Newsom then pardons or bails out all of those people that protested, would you still say that Gavin Newsom condemned and that was it? He condemned the rhetoric? Would you say that same thing? This is how you win a debate against people operating in bad faith. You take their exact logic, hand it to a liberal politician, and watch their brains short circuit. They cannot answer honestly without destroying their own defense. So what do? They scramble. They deflect. When confronted with a conservative leader literally offering to pay legal fees for people who assault protesters, Andrew Wilson tried to brush it off. Andrew Wilson replied, "You mean that gotcha where he was being tongue-in-cheek? It was very cleverly done there." And Soypill instantly saw right through it and replied, "So, joking. Are you kidding me? The absolute desperation to label violent rhetoric as just a joke. It is the classic abuser dynamic. They say something completely unhinged, rile up their base, and when they get called out for it, they hide behind the excuse of humor. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot claim the moral high ground while simultaneously cheering on politicians who write blank check for political violence. The progressive side holds their own accountable. The conservative side treats accountability like a game of dodgeball. They want the luxury of inciting chaos while keeping their hands perfectly clean. It is frankly pathetic to watch grown men twist themselves into pretzels just to defend the indefensible. This moment exposes exactly how intellectually bankrupt their defense truly is.
There is a Patriot legal fund. There's a Patriot legal fund that's helping pay for legal fees of all of those who are on January 6th. They're also helping.
So there's not bail funds for protesters then? So not that.
Oh wait,
we don't have that.
Andrew. I could have sworn you said these don't exist on the right, and he just brought.
They
up
don't. No, that doesn't. That's not a fucking protester bail fund. You lying sack of gutless shit.
What would you call them then?
Who? No. The J6ers are people who are being politically persecuted. This is long. This is long after.
If you didn't
this
smoke
was
and you weren't so
long
fucking
after.
fat, it would be easier to lift the goalpost and move them
This
around,
was
dude.
long.
Jesus Christ,
this
dude.
this
Holy
this was
shit.
long after. You should use those dick sucking lips of yours
Oh
to go
my
ahead
God,
and
dude.
actually make the
Holy
case.
shit. Hey, girls love these. You
Make
should ask your wife.
make the case. Make the actual case. Ask my wife.
Doesn't it suck when people yell at you and you get all flustered?
I'm sorry.
And your masculinity just
Are you
disseminates,
ever?
You start to feel all that
Are you ever
going to
make an
anxiety,
argument?
Andrew?
Are we just going to troll?
About all the other men
all right,
you're,
let's
like,
troll.
fucking have
Hey,
kids with,
if you
dude,
want
is
to
it
troll,
happening?
let's troll. Is that what we want to do?
Soy.
Dude,
Hey,
is that
Soy,
where we're
I think
going?
Soy,
Are we just going to do trolling? If you want to do that, we can do that.
I think it's the pickle behind you that's got him a little flustered.
Olive.
I didn't even think of that. Holy
Olive.
shit. Well, check this out.
Jesus Christ. Okay, we're gonna throw things.
Do you keep
John
one by
Paul.
you just in case now? Do you have someone else loosen up?
We're gonna kick it over to John Paul
I mean,
now.
here's the thing though, Soy. Like, if you want to have legitimate
Andrew,
debates,
I just think we're gonna kick it
I
to
don't give a
John.
shit. Here's the thing, Soy. If we're gonna do trolling, now we're doing trolling.
I will mute everyone.
Now we're just doing trolling,
we're
bro.
kicking it to John
No.
Paul.
Now we're gonna
this
do
is
some
not just sending
trolling.
it to just me.
No. We
Kicking it to
must
John.
do trolling now.
We were kicking it to John.
We have to
John,
do
what do you
trolling
think?
now. John's not allowed to talk anymore. Nobody's allowed to talk.
tired
We're
of moving
just
goalposts.
doing
Let go of
trolling
this.
now.
All right, John Paul,
Nobody's
go.
allowed to speak. He's allowed to insult my wife. right? He's allowed to do that.
Hey, you're the one who called her a 6.
Hey, when your fucking family's dachshund's up online, don't get mad at me. You opened it up. You opened it up.
Sure.
You opened that shit up. And the thing that's funny is like, wait, hang on, Soy. Was that due
like the Proud Boys? You're just playing
was that due to your rhetoric? Did you bring it on yourself with your rhetoric? By the way, we don't do. By the way, never.
I think the insult.
By the way, we never do. By the way, we never do doxing ever. I'm just pointing this out to you. I'm just pointing this out to you.
I'm pointing out that you are an incredibly weak man baby who postures as super masculine, but the instant someone insults you, you get flustered and feel like a little bitch.
No, you're just filibustering. You're not. Your insults are shit.
You're being really mean to me.
Your insults are dog shit.
Embarrassing.
You wear a propeller on your fucking head. You're a fucking doofus.
This is the total and complete collapse of the conservative argument. The mask completely slips off. The moment the Patriot legal fund is brought up, the hypocrisy becomes impossible to hide. Andrew Wilson said this, "No, no, no. The rioters are people are being politically persecuted." Andrew Wilson realized he was backed into a corner and literally just blurted out, "This long," to which Soy Pill instantly fired back that it would be easier to lift the goalpost and move. And he is absolutely right. They spent this entire conversation screaming about how progressives have bail funds, pretending to care about law and order, but the second you point out their own massive legal funds for people who stormed a government building, suddenly it is a noble cause. Suddenly, breaking the law is fine, as long as you are wearing the right political hat. The complete lack of self-awareness is staggering. They do not care about political violence. They only care about winning. And watch what happens when their fake intellectual armor gets pierced. They completely melt down. Soy Pill hit the nail on the head. Soy Pill said this, "Doesn't it suck when people yell at you and get all flustered, and your masculinity you start to feel that?" Andrew Wilson completely lost his composure and snapped, "Are you ever going to make an argument?" But the damage was already done. Soy Pill read him like a book. Soy Pill said this, "Weak man baby who postures as super masculine, but the instant someone insults you, you get flustered." And what was the grand, intellectual conservative response from Andrew Wilson? He started screaming about hat. Andrew Wilson literally yelled, "Your insults are dog crap. You wear a propeller on your head. You're a doofus. You have to understand how incredibly satisfying it is to watch this fake alpha male posturing crumble into dust." The conservative internet space is built on this illusion of masculine stoicism, pretending they operate purely on cold hard logic. But the second you push back, the second you expose their hypocritical legal funds and their double standards, they throw a tantrum like a toddler in a sandbox. They abandon the debate entirely because they know they have lost on the merits. This right here is undeniable proof that behind all that loud, aggressive bluster, there is no solid argument left, just fragile egos completely falling apart on camera. They demand absolute respect from everyone around them, yet they act like absolute children the moment they are held to their own standard. When cornered with actual fact, the so-called tough guys always fold. So what do you guys think of this? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.